the Chuckle and Roar Ultimate Water Beads Activity Kits. You can see a picture of them on your screen right there. Effective kits include those sold in stores and online from March to November last year. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says that kids eat those little beads, they get bigger in their stomachs, and that can cause an intestinal obstruction. Imposter scams have become one of fraudsters' go-to schemes for defrauding victims. The latest scheme involves impersonating Xfinity or Comcast, with the scammer telling customers a discount is ending, but in reality, it's all a ploy to steal your money. Carice Jackman has the latest.
Hi there. It's a call that oftentimes comes out of the blue. This call is to remind you that Comcast Xfinity will be canceling the 50% discount offer, which was not applied on your account. A voicemail reportedly from a legitimate business. In order to avail the discount right now and save monthly bills, please call back at when in reality it's a scam.
Impersonation has always been a common and effective tactic used by scammers because a lot of folks don't have relationships with folks in these organizations.
This automated fraudster is becoming more common, according to Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau.
This one in particular is very convincing because it's not asking you to pay, everything you have in cryptocurrency, right? It's not asking for a strange form of payment. It's merely asking for you to directly pick up the phone and make a phone call. That in and of itself is a little bit innovative, right? Because a lot of scammers are interested in the quick payout and not necessarily in prolonging the experience or asking the consumer to jump through an additional hurdle. We're seeing more and more of these steps to legitimize the process.
If the intended victim returns the call, the scammer will then ask for payment. Comcast isn't the first company that had to deal with this kind of imposter scam. Fraudsters have impersonated many different businesses and even federal agencies. So far this year, there have been nearly 400,000 imposter scams reported to the Federal Trade Commission. Plano says that's why it's important you know how to spot the red flags. The main one, a voicemail telling you they're canceling a discount you've never heard of before. Also, anytime you get a call where the person is asking you to use a specific form of payment, beware.
And some of the reports that we have seen with regard to Comcast, or this type of scam, masked by Comcast, they're asking for things like prepaid debit cards and wire transfers, which are very rarely used, if ever, and nearly always are a sign that you should tread carefully and proceed with caution.
Also, be sure to check the company's website. Legitimate companies like Comcast often share what common scams are out there and how you can protect yourself.
They're looking to hide behind the facade of a reputable organization. So it's a little counterintuitive, but in some ways, this is like a testament to Comcast's success as a company. But of course, the company in question wants this situation to go away just as much as the consumer does.
Thank you, and have a great day. So the next time you get a voicemail claiming to be from a company, do your research and think twice before calling back. You're just watching your watch. I'm pretty sure.
Still ahead this morning on Today in Alabama on this Friday, breakfast for babies is underway in Montgomery, and love to see you come out there and join us. Well, more on this campaign, how you can support NICUs at Baptist Health and also get a great breakfast to start your Friday morning. As we head to break, here's a look at tonight's primetime lineups. You can watch these shows on WSFA 12 News and Bounce TV, which is 12.2.
So exclusive, in fact, that I get it's just for breakfast. And spicy garlic slider. But if you're a trucker, now you can walk into any Denny's travel center and order an original Grand Slam breakfast for only Motel 6 dollars. But first, make sure you head to My 6 Marketplace in the Motel 6 app to download the coupon. Download app for Motel 6, and we'll see you at Denny's. Were you hopeful for less chance of an inspection delay at the roadside in 2021? Compared to the 2020 pandemic year, you were disappointed as inspection likelihood rose from 2020 levels substantially. That's according to the new comprehensive analysis from Overdrive Magazine's decade-long CSA's Data Trail series. But the 2022 series update shows that state truck enforcement departments still aren't back to pre-COVID inspection levels. Learn more about this today. There are some new risks, though, in rising moving violations as well as hours of service detention. You can determine your own roadside risk with 48 state rankings in many inspection and violation categories. Download the full report via overdriveonline.com. Navigate to the regulations section to find the CSA's Data Trail 2022 update. That's overdriveonline.com in the regulations section. And check out CSA's Data Trail 2022 update today. The St. Louis Partners Relief Fund is excited to once again offer its diabetes prevention program, Driving Down Diabetes. This free CDC-approved year-long program begins January 9th, 2023, with live webinars focusing on nutrition, movement, stress management. And this program is for those at risk, not already diagnosed with diabetes. Go to partnersfund.org located under the Health and Wellness tab and sign up today. In the stage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Auto workers have begun historic strikes at 3 different plants in 3 different states. WWJ's Jeff Gilbert.
All 3 plants make SUVs and pickups that are already in short supply. UAW President Sean Tate spreading the pain among all 3 Detroit car makers.
For the first time in our history, we will strike all 3 of the big 3 at once.
Ford says the strike could have wide-ranging consequences on their business and on the U.S. economy. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News.
Now, the strike could have cost billions of dollars in lost wages and earnings. The most
Happy Friday. Welcome to Today in Alabama. I'm Jed Davis.
And I'm Jasmine Williamson.
Ford and GM shares are down in pre-market trading. New Englanders are bracing for a downgraded
Breakfast for the 16th annual Breakfast for Baby fundraiser.
Canada over the weekend. Weather Channel meteorologist Chris Warren.
Tropical alerts from southern Massachusetts all
This morning to get out a pretty sunrise as the sun begins to rise on a Friday morning. So let's check out right now. Meteorologist Tyler Seabury. Tyler, some folks saw some rain on Thursday.
25 years in prison if he's convicted.
But it will not rain. I don't think it's going to end up like yesterday, where it was.
The president's son is accused of lying about his drug use on a federal gun form.
And I don't expect it to rain that persistently today or tomorrow, but more showers and storms are expected today and tomorrow. This is
Former President Trump
hanging out by the pool still. It is still, after all summer, we're talking 80s to 70s.
if he wins another term next year. 2 Colorado police officers, one suspended, the other fired, will go on trial.
Plans are in good shape. Now, rain chances stick with us tomorrow, but then look.
In Aurora 4 years ago, they put the 23-year-old Elijah McCain in a neck hold after responding to an.
We'll come down with the rain chances. We've got some good news going into Sunday and next week, guys. We'll talk all the details in just a little bit.
All right, Tyler, again, it's
McCain had been walking home from
the road of Montgomery, and all of this benefits the Baptist Health Foundation.
CBS's Elaine Cobb is in Paris.
Apple has promised it will update its iPhone 12 to comply with European rules on electromagnetic radiation. The French body that tests cell phones said earlier this week that the phone exceeded EU limits for specific absorption rate. France warned sales would be stopped if the phones weren't made compliant within 2 weeks.
An update's expected within the next 2 days. S&P futures up 5. This is CBS News.
You need to hire fast and hire right? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
2 times the healthy blood pressure support? That's a number to regulate. This with the smart shoes, you need 2x improvement that helps promote normal blood pressure nearly 2 times more effective than diet and exercise alone. Super Beats is America's #1 selling beef brand, and the only #1 cardiologist, doctor, and pharmacist recommended beef brand for heart health support. A clinical study showed that the key ingredient in Super Beats heart juice is nearly 2 times more effective at supporting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. And their Carnival brand with over 60,000 5-star ratings and reviews. So double your protection with a special offer exclusively for radio listeners. Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beats heart shoes and 15% off your first order at getsuperbeats.com with code radio. That's a free 30-day supply and 15% off for radio listeners only at getsuperbeats.com, code radio.
There's a plan for people to return to parts of Maui burned out by last month's wildfires.
The plan is to start letting residents and business owners make escorted visits to their properties a week from Monday. Officials say the area is still restricted, but they want people to be able to safely see what's left, perhaps get some closure. Anyone wanting to go back will have to apply for a pass and meet with officials beforehand. Visits will be divided up into zones. One complication, the EPA is still removing hazardous materials. People will have to wear protective equipment when they go back. Peter King, CBS News.
Get ready to pay more to fly. Big carriers like American Airlines, Alaska, Spirit, United, and Frontier are warning rising fuel prices are putting a dent in their profits. There's a new contract between American and pilots. Travel experts are warning those added costs could be passed on to consumers. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
My heart can tell me. And my kid 33. Okay, no go for today.
Get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right through banks, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HACK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HACK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and allergies can capture your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a
Nobody here but me. That's all right. Hey.
then uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Lavage daily. Medications treat the symptoms, but Lavage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Lavage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Research shows that successful ad campaigns share 8 characteristics. Radio is the only local media option that delivers already. Radio reaches your potential customers close to the point of purchase. It provides local consumer interactions with emotional connections that build trust and credibility for your business. Radio is unskippable and quick. You get your message out in 24 to 48 hours. And radio is very important. That's why radio consistently gives the highest return on investment. And it's also why it should always be your base media. Research also confirms that marketing campaigns generate even higher returns, starting at a 19% lift when they are on more than one platform. That's why Cumulus offers a variety of effective digital solutions to enhance your base radio. Cumulus, you're your one-stop shop to deliver a coordinated radio and digital marketing to get your business results. Hi, I'm Sonia Thompson, and it's my job to get your business results with News Radio 1440. To learn more about how to get started, go to newsradio1440.com and click on Grow Your Business.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Top 5 financial lessons from film characters. I didn't have the problem coming up with 5. To be honest with this whole thing, I was trying to find lessons from the Terminator. I was trying to find, like, you guys will recognize this movie as Expendables 4. This is Dolph Lundgren. And this is the importance of life insurance. Exactly.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast wherever you listen.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese, the Russians don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440. Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Another day with scattered showers and a few thunderstorms expected. Temperatures will get up into the mid-80s. Now, if we stay cloudy and see a little more rain like yesterday, you won't quite get into the mid-80s. For tonight, I can't rule out a couple showers and storms. Temperatures in the lower 70s. Tomorrow will be a repeat of today. Scattered showers and a few storms. Highs in the mid-80s. A few of us may go a little above that if you see more sunshine, then the humidity comes down and things dry out Sunday and the next week.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Nothing's being reported by the authorities. And since you want an alternate route, Interstate Systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Albany, Greenville. No problems on 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy. Register now for mini-term B classes at Trenton State. Mini-term B classes begin October 16th. Trenton State, today's college for tomorrow's world. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Friday. One day after a Prattville High School student was arrested for bringing a handgun on campus, Watauga County is rolling out a new gun safety plan. The district ordered portable metal detectors and metal detector wands that will be used to screen students at elementary, middle, and high schools all across the county. They will also be used at certain sporting events. The superintendent says he expects them to arrive in a couple of weeks. More education news now. Thousands of Alabama students could end up repeating the third grade if they don't make certain reading scores or aren't reading at a specific level by the end of this school year. As part of the Alabama Literacy Act, students who don't reach that score will have a chance to attend summer school and can still advance to the fourth grade. It's Friday night and it's time for WSFA 12 News Friday Night Fever. Our Fever Gang of the week, Elba Tigers traveling to Brantley to take on the Bulldogs. I'm Jasmine Williams and these are your morning headlines.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met good feet. I'm so glad that those are sports like my shoes.
Come see us in Montgomery at 7341 East Chase Parkway or at goodfeet.com.
Hey, Montgomery, Prattville, and River Region. Matt Parsley here with Budget Car Truck Sales. Another record fall. We broke another record last month. With the economy tightening up, people needing money, the suppliers are rolling out deals. At Budget Car and Truck Sales, we're selling an unbelievable amount of cars, trucks, vans, and sport utilities. Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, you name it. At Budget, we take
Don't you know I wanted
to and buy with just $7 down. Yep. $7 down. We have a huge selection and making room every day. The 2024s are arriving. Hertz, Avis, Budget, they're dumping.
2024.
And you can take advantage of these huge rental fleet and off-lease deals. And the savings is ridiculous. It's unbelievable. It's been a record year so far, and we want September to be even better. Visit us online at buybudgetonline.com. 61 Mendel Parkway, next to Fraser Church, or all new in Prattville, 508 McQueen Smith Road. Did I mention buybudgetonline.com?
Are you ready to tackle tough projects on your property with ease? Come see us at SunSouth. We're your one-stop destination for everything tractor related. And right now, you can cool off with huge savings on quality John Deere equipment, including available 0% financing for 84 months on popular models like the versatile 1020 tractor and mower. Deals like this can't last forever. Come see us at SunSouth. Equipment for those that do.
Restrictions apply. See the for details. Expires October 1, 2023.
Prescriptions required online consultation with healthcare provider will determine if appropriate prescriptions, prices, and such details and importance and information. Prescription required. Price varies based on products and subscription.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online journey, go to hims.com/joy.
Good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds you well. It's Friday morning. This is Friday.
Witty and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
I mean, who did this? What year this was, I don't know.
Tomorrow morning if you wake up and the sun does not appear,
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time once again to rise and shine. For it is another day, one more. You're on top of the ground and the ground's not on top of you. So the first thing you should say this morning is thank God for being here. And be very thankful because this day was never promised. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins. It's time for our daily bread. A word from on high, something to change your perspective or give you a new one. Either way, it's good for the soul. Good morning. It is September the 15th, 2023. Today's message is simply entitled, The Message of the Prophets. Our scriptural insight today comes from Jeremiah 28, 2 through 4 and 10 through 16. To start off, Hebrews 1 through 2 says, in the past, God spoke through the prophets, but in these last days, by his Son. Govern yourselves accordingly. And again, good morning. It is September the 15th. It is time to rise and shine. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day that once it's gone, you'll never get it back again. You don't get a do-over. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you ought to do today, but you don't. You don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you be proud of what you have done. If you've lived a while, you've seen, you've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace and mercy and charity of God, we may, I'm not sure, we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of our lives. What are we going to do? Whatever you do, whatever we do, while you can, for as long as you can, until you can't, reach back every once in a while and help somebody else along the way. You'll feel good about it, and they'll feel good about it. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well. No man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live life, you should always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two, we all do, but you'll never be a failure until you quit. We say, give out if you must, rest only if you can, but you never, ever give up. Because quitters never win. And while winners may lose every once in a while, they never quit. So don't you. And no matter what happens this day, remember, it is a great day to be alive. Good morning to you. The message of the prophets. That's our daily bread for this morning, September the 15th.
Hey there, and welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading titled The Message of the Prophets was written by Tim Gustafson. Before baseball's 1906 World Series, sports writer Hugh Fullerton made an astute prediction. He said the Chicago Cubs, who were expected to win, would lose the first and third games and win the second. Oh, and it would rain on the fourth. He was right on each point. Then in 1919, his analytical skills told him certain players were losing World Series games intentionally. Fullerton suspected they'd been bribed by gamblers. Popular opinion ridiculed him. Again, he was right. Fullerton was no prophet, just a wise man who studied the evidence. Jeremiah was a real prophet, whose prophecies always came true. Wearing an ox yoke, Jeremiah told Judah in Jeremiah 27 to surrender to the Babylonians and live. The false prophet, Hananiah, contradicted him and broke the yoke. Jeremiah told him, "Listen, Hananiah, the Lord has not sent you," and added, "This very year you are going to die." 2 months later, Hananiah was dead. The New Testament tells us in Hebrews chapter 1, in the past, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets, but in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son. Through Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, and through the scriptures and guidance of the Holy Spirit, God's truth still instructs us today. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Jeremiah chapter 28, verses 2 through 4, and verses 10 through 16. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says: I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon. Within 2 years, I will bring back to this place all the articles of the Lord's house that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, removed from here and took to Babylon. I will also bring back to this place Jehoiakim, son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and all the other exiles from Judah who went to Babylon, declares the Lord, for I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon. And now picking up at verse 10. Then the prophet Hananiah took the yoke off the neck of the prophet Jeremiah and broke it. And he said before all the people, "This is what the Lord says. In the same way, I will break the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, off the neck of all the nations within 2 years." At this, the prophet Jeremiah went on his way. After the prophet Hananiah had broken the yoke off the neck of the prophet Jeremiah, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. "Go and tell Hananiah, this is what the Lord says. You have broken a wooden yoke, but in its place, you will get a yoke of iron. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. I will put an iron yoke on the necks of all these nations to make them serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and they will serve him. I will even give him control over the wild animals." Then the prophet Jeremiah said to Hananiah the prophet, "Listen, Hananiah, the Lord has not sent you. Yet you have persuaded this nation to trust in lies. Therefore, this is what the Lord says. I am about to remove you from the face of the earth. This very year, you are going to die because you have preached rebellion against the Lord." Let's pray. Father, so many of us have big questions today, and we need your Spirit to lead and guide us. Help us to watch and listen intently to where you're leading us and to trust you when we can't see or understand. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. I'm Stephen Tabor, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
It's time to rise and shine, people. Time to get up. All right, should we do PT today? I think we need PT. Yeah. All right, let's get it going. Somebody get the sergeant major out here, and the first sergeant tell them they're not retired yet. So let's get it. Oh, yeah. Oh! That's what they say. All right, let's tighten up in the rear back there. You guys slacking this morning. Let's do it. Oh, and go to work. Come on. That's what they say. Hard work. I earn my pay. Come on. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. That's what it says. Hard work, work. Come on now. Oh yeah. Feels good. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. It's a great day to be alive. Come on. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. And go to work. Come on. On the airplane in the early morning rain. That's what they say. Hard work. I do it for play. Come on. Hard work, work. Come on now. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. Come on now. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Oh, yeah. Do it every day. All right, all right, all right. Now, let's pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. The United States Army, whose motto is, I don't know, because we change it every couple of years. The United States Navy, whose motto is Anchors Away. I expect you swabbies to be standing in the mirror this morning while you're shaving with your hand salute. Or do they salute in the Navy? I'm not sure. The United States Coast Guard, whose motto is Semper Paratus, which means always, always ready. The United States Air Force, whose motto is simply aim high. Good morning, Maxwell and Gunner. It's time to rise and shine. And if somebody could find me a C-141, just park it on the tarp out there, I'd appreciate it. But if you happen to see one, let me know so I can run out there and feast my eyes on it one more time, or one more again. Gotta wake up. And last but certainly not least, their motto is Semper Fidelis. But we changed it. We made it short. Semper Fi. But whether it's Semper Fidelis or Semper Fi, it all means the same thing. Always, always faithful. Good morning, Jarheads. I expect to hold that salute till the sun goes off. I do love them white hats. Maybe the Army should get a white hat. Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and the United States Marines. And let's not forget about what's that other one? What's that new one we got? Airborne, Air Force, whatever the hell it is. It's out there. Space Force, that's the one. That's the one. Okay, I remember now. I got okay. Has Space Force actually did anything yet? I mean, I know they're part of they're part of the family now, but I'm just of course, I would imagine the Air Force went through the same thing because wasn't for the Army wouldn't be no Air Force. I'm just saying but it just seems to me that Space Force not doing a whole hell of a lot. They let those things they let those balloons cross America. Come on, man. How you gonna be Space Force and you don't catch nothing that's going up in space? What's up with that? But that's okay. Maybe they learned their lesson now and maybe they're on the job. JOB right now. It is 6:29 in the morning. Let's take a break. And when we come back, our audio piece of the day and a few other things that we're going to talk about. It's Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday, but don't forget to thank them for the rest of the days also. Okay? But it's weekend eve. It's kind of like a holiday. When I was in Korea, they always called every day off was a holiday. You know why? Because they really got one. Anyway, so we will return uno momento. Yeah, they really got a day off over there. So whenever they got one, hell, it was a holiday too. Anyway, so much for so much for that. We'll be back. You ever watched the Sunday Ticket? I never watched the Sunday Ticket. I know, and I never watched that. I got time. As a matter of fact, I don't even watch the first half of any football game. I only watch the second half. Because the first half, there's two things going to happen in the first half. Either they're going to show overwhelming power, you're going to be toast, or they're going to be close, and then the second half, the other half to matter. So I'm like a half a football game watch. All right? Yeah. Unless they even Notre Dame. I can't watch the whole thing. Anyway, let us take a break. Come back with Lessons of Life, my audio piece this morning, and life goes on. 6:31 in the morning. If you got to be there by 7 o'clock, you got 29 minutes by which to rock. I'm just going to always give you time. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving you time. 6:31. We'll be back. Hello, sweetie.
I'm motivated and supercharged. Yep, budget is setting records. We broke another record last month. With the economy tightening up, people needing money, the suppliers are holding up. We're selling in
Killer.
cars, trucks, vans, and sport utilities, Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, you name it. At Budget, we take the new car depreciation out so you won't have to deal with it. And buy with just $7 down. Yep, $7 down. We have a huge selection and making room every day. The 2024s are arriving. Hertz, Avis, Budget, they're dumping light new, low mileage inventory, and you can take advantage of these huge rental fleet and off-lease deals. And the savings is ridiculous. It's unbelievable. It's been a record year so far, and we want September to be even better. Visit us online at buybudgetonline.com, 61 Mendel Parkway, next to Fraser Church, or all new impact between Smith Road. Did I mention buybudgetonline.com?
Don't miss Sean Hannity. Biden incoherently adheres live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Okay, hey, audio pieces. One, I play this often because it's a story of redemption, story of hope, and it always motivates me when I hear this guy. So, it's a great day to be alive.
Right in front of my face. And that's what would wake me up. But I would lay there and I would pretend like I was still asleep. Because me and 415 really didn't get along. But grandma would look at the back of my head, I could feel her staring at me, and then finally she would say, "Now sugar, grandma know you ain't sleep. You just supposed to go on and get on up and get ready for school." And my grandmother was known for saying things that would kind of make you a little angry because they made so much sense and you couldn't argue with it. Parents, you know, there's things that when you become parents, you start to say to your own kids. And my grandmother would say, "Now, son, you knew when you laid down there last night that you had to get up this morning. I don't know why every single morning you lay there and act surprised. You ought to be thankful that the Lord saw fit to wake you up this in your right mind." But what my grandmother was encouraging me to do was simply to be grateful for the opportunity. In spite of all that I had been through in my life, she just wanted to make sure that I understood the opportunity that I've been given. My life got started, it was a little rough start. I was born 2 months premature. My mother was walking up a flight of stairs, and she didn't know this at the time, but a woman she had an argument with earlier was standing above her holding a pot of boiling water. As my mom made her way up those stairs, that woman dumped that water onto my mom and sent her tumbling down the stairs into the lake. She received third-degree burns over 25% of her body. And when we were finally allowed to leave the hospital, As you can imagine, my mom was in a great deal of pain. Those burns just barely missed her face and covered most of the front of her body. So when we got home, she began taking a heavy sedative, pain medication to help her recover. When she took that medication, it was very difficult for her to watch me, so I would bounce around a lot. I'd stay with my mom for a little bit, and then I'd go stay with grandma, and I'd stay with some neighbors, aunties, and then back to my mother's house. I did that for the first 3 years of my life. I was 3 years old, I was back at my mom's house, and I got into her purse, I found that medication, I swallowed everything in the bottle. When they found me, they rushed me to the hospital, and my heart would stop, and eventually I went into a coma. But because of that accident, because of that incident, the state of California, they did an investigation. And the conclusion that they came to was that it wasn't an accident. They removed me from my mother's home, I was made a ward of the state, and eventually I went into the foster care system. Shortly after I arrived to one of my foster homes, my foster mom, her name was Miss Alexander. Miss Alexander began locking me inside the closet with a light. She'd open the closet door, she'd kick me with a stick or a strap or whatever she had. It was while I was in that foster home that I was sexually abused for the first time in my life. And oftentimes people will ask, if that has to be the worst thing that could happen to someone. I have scars on my body that you can't see. I have a burn here in my hand that she put there with an iron. But all of that pain went away. The worst thing that Mrs. Alexander would do is she would open the closet door, she would stand over me, and she would say, "You're stupid, and you ain't gonna never amount to nothing." And that hurt me more than any of the physical kicks or the physical pain because I believed it for a long time. I believed that I would never amount to anything, just like she said. I didn't know this at the time. I found out a little bit later, but my grandmother, my hero, she had started going back and forth to court, trying to prove that she could take care of an active, handsome little boy. And eventually, the state of California, they granted her full custody of me. And I'll never forget standing on Miss Alexander's front porch waiting. She had my little belongings, everything that I had. I remember standing there, it may have only been a half an hour, but it felt like an eternity. And I can remember thinking maybe no one's coming. But after a while, at the end of the block, I see the ugliest car I've ever seen in my life. And the car pulls up right in front of the porch. And I remember all I could see are these two big glasses, bifocals. I found out later that Grandma had glaucoma. She wasn't supposed to be driving. But she gets out of that big car and she's got on this white floppy hat with there's a flower right there in the middle. And I remember she had on this long white dress that came all the way down to her ankles. And I found out later that, that was Grandma's Sunday best. It was an outfit that she only reserved for special occasions. And I can remember for once in my life feeling like I was on a special occasion. I remember jumping into Grandma's arms and squeezing her, and I remember her whispering and saying to me, "Everything's okay. Your family." And everything was okay, just like Grandmother said. And I had a lot to look forward to. I found out that my mom was going to court trying to prove that she could take care of me. And I can remember sitting there with my mother, and we talk, and we had a lot of different conversations. One thing I can remember saying, "Mama, one day when I get big, I'm gonna buy you a nice house with a fireplace." I said, "Mama, one day I'm gonna buy you a nice car." I like Grandma, so get you a nice one. But the truth is, I just really wanted to become a family again, and that's what I look forward to. When I was 12 years old, I was asleep on my grandmother's floor. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. We get a knock on the door. It was my mom's roommate. "Miss Howell, come quick." Miss Howell was my grandma. She said, "Come quick, it's Ruth." Ruth was my mom. She said, "I can't wake her up. I think she's dead." And I can remember laying on that floor, kind of wishing hoping that it was maybe a dream. But it wasn't. And that's how I found out that all the hopes and dreams and things that I had to look forward to weren't going to happen. I became very angry. I became confused. I was hurt. I didn't really understand what was happening. I started acting out, hanging out with the wrong people, breaking into houses, started stealing cars. I can remember not really caring what happened to me. I continued that behavior until I was 19. When I was 19, I found myself standing in front of a judge. I was handcuffed, had a chain around my waist, and my handcuffs were attached to that chain. The judge looked at me and says, the state of California sentences you to 15 years in prison for armed robbery and assault. That day, when that door closed behind me for the first time as a convicted felon, I remember standing in that empty cell. I remember my knees started to get weak and they started to shake uncontrollably. I collapsed and I fell to the floor. I just started crying alone. I remember hearing voices. Heard the voice of my foster mom saying, "You're stupid, man, you never amount to nothing." Heard the voice of family members and friends of family. I said, that boy's gonna end up just like his father. My father was a career criminal. He died in prison. I can remember laying there thinking to myself that this is where I'm gonna die. But here's what happened that would change my life. Shortly after I arrived to that prison, there was an educator there. His name was Charles Lyles, 6'3", ex-Marine. And I don't know what it was about me, but every time he saw me, he'd say, "Hey, Mr. Humphrey." He had this big smile on his face, a smile that my kids would say, "That's creepy." But he smiled and he said, "Hey, Mr. Humphrey, how you doing?" He always called me Mr. Humphrey. He gave me that respect. He walked into my cell. He looked at me and he said, "Mr. Humphrey," he says, "prison doesn't have to be your life." He says, "You can get out of here and you can do great things." He started to walk away, and before he walked out of my cell, he turned around one last time and he says, "Mr. Humphrey?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "I believe in you." He walked out of my cell. If he had continued to stand there, he would have seen the tears running down my face because no one had ever said that to me. But I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to change my life. And a little over 4 years after the day I originally collapsed and fell to the floor, I walked out of that prison on parole. That was over 18 years ago. I've never been back other than to mentor and help other people. But here's what I know. I know that when you've had a rough life, when you feel unwanted, I know that when you have hopes and dreams and when you have things that you can look forward to, and when you have people in place that support you and push you, I know that that gives you a reason to live. It is a great day to be alive. And that's something that I haven't always said, but now it's something that I say to myself every single day at some point. If I'm having a great day or a bad day, that's something that I say. But what I also understand is that what my grandmother was thanking her higher power for each and every day was for the opportunity that she'd been given. And she never missed an opportunity to tell anyone that would listen, especially me, it's a great day to be alive.
It is a great day to be alive. Oh, yeah. Every time I hear this one, it tears me up. It is a great day to be alive. Great day to be alive. Wow, what a powerful testimony of redemption. But you know, what I've learned from this particular piece is that everybody, all of us, needs somebody to believe in us. No matter, I don't care if you're the president of the United States, if you're the boxing champion of the world, whatever. Everybody needs somebody to believe in them. And I haven't always thought I haven't always thought about that. But just because nobody believed in you that you knew of, believe in somebody, help some kids, and that's what I love about Hope Inspired Ministries. They give people that somebody to believe in them, and if somebody else believes in you, it makes it a lot easier for you to believe in you too. So, if you need somebody, Hope Inspired Ministries on 145 Coliseum Boulevard, go by there. If you got some problems and things like that, listen, we'll talk to you. Well, they'll talk to you because I'm not a very good counselor. The professionals over there will do that. But I'm seriously, if you don't know which way to go, which way is up, whatever the case may be, you might want to go by our offices, which is at 145, and tell them your story. Tell them the story, and they will listen because they want to listen to you. Okay, they want to listen to you and help you figure out what to do about the issues of life. Okay, Hope Inspired Ministries, 145, and they got a number too. Sometimes my mind Well, I'll give you the number in a couple minutes here. And if it's not you, then tell somebody else. If you don't need them because you've gotten over you or whatever the case may be, tell somebody else. Okay. Now let me find that number. Here's that number. Here's that number right here. Okay, that number is, let's see. I got the number right here. Hold on a second. I got it right here. 649-4330. Okay. And if you've got it all together, we always can use people who've been there and done that to encourage other people. Because sometimes when you're going up the rough side of the mountain, you think there's nobody on the other side. Yeah, there's somebody on the other side climbing the same mountain you climb. So, help them out. That number again, give them a call. They'll open at 8 o'clock. 649-4330. 649-4330. All right? It's all about helping each other. All right, I don't normally do this. Who is this? Like, I don't know. Ed, now why do you always call me when I don't take calls this time of day? And I hear you, but the good book also says there's a time and a place for all things. Now this ain't the time for this ain't the time for calls. You know that, right? Okay. You got a minute? Go. Yeah, go ahead. You got a minute? Go ahead. Okay, so is this gonna count for your call, or are you gonna call back next hour? Because if you go more longer than this, it's gonna be your call. All right, call me back again. Call me back again. I got other things I have to get done. But I'm gonna break my rule, and you can call me back next hour and get the rest of it out. You got to learn how to get it out faster. Get it out faster. Hey, here's a conundrum for you guys today. Can any of you folks tell me there are only four words in the English language, only four, that end in DOUS? Yeah, I tell you the answer to that later on. Anyway, good morning to you. It is the 15th day of September. Time for lessons of life and the word of the day. The word of the day is spelled ABSTAIN. ABSTAIN. Okay, ABSTAIN, and it means from something is too close, or you refuse to vote on it. Okay, so the word is abstain. Abstain can also mean specifically to choose not to vote. Now, I find that to be a coward's way out. If we send you down to the city council, okay, if they say, and it also means to not do certain things again. But if we send you down to the city council and you take the coward's way out and not abstain, and you abstain, well, to me that's representation. That's you're not giving us any representation. Okay, so I'm just saying, I think we ought to do away with abstentions when it comes to voting. Take a stand, left, right, up, down. Take a stand. Take a stand. Don't be a wuss. Because when you stand in the middle of the road, you get hit on both sides. So the next time somebody abstains, I'm gonna take them to task, big time, big time. Okay, we don't send you down there to sit in the chair and do nothing. We send you down there to take a vote. Vote one way or the other. Just let us know every once in a while what that vote gonna be. Okay, so the word of the day is abstain. It means to abstain from something is to choose to not do or have that thing abstain. And it also can mean choose not to vote. Okay? Basically, it means set you like a knot on a log is basically what it means. Okay? It means that you wimped out is what it means. Okay? Now, here is the lesson of life for today. Lesson of life for today. somebody, somebody. Okay. Okay. Somebody got it. Somebody got it. I got to make this a lot harder. Okay. There are 4 words. The only 4 words in the English language that end with DOUS. And those are tremendous, stupendous, horrendous, and hazardous. That's the only 4 words in English language that begin DOUS. Anyway, so moving right along, the lessons of life today is an important one because often in our lives we are put in a position to judge things, and we all do, and everybody judges something. But the things we rely on sometimes to judge things can be misleading, can be uninformative. But the one thing that I think we can always count on is our hearts. Sometimes you have to go by your gut feeling about people, good, bad, or indifferent, because sometimes your heart knows what your eyes can't see. So pay attention to it. That is the lesson of life today. Sometimes your heart knows what the eyes can't see. Pay attention to it because it is the only thing sometimes that allows you to make the right decision or the wrong decision. Either way it goes, the heart is a powerful thing. The inside of you, the things that it tells you are powerful things. Don't completely ignore those things. Okay? It is September the 15th. It was on this day in 1963. 4 black girls were killed when a bomb went off during Sunday services at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, which is right up the road. 3 Ku Klux Klansmen were eventually convicted of their roles in the blast. Somebody once said, justice delayed is justice denied. But it was on this day that 4 black children were killed when a bomb went off in Birmingham during Sunday, in Jamaica Mandatory doing Sunday services at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham. And the 3 men who I think people knew who they were finally got some justice. Well, they didn't get justice, but they were finally brought to pay for those crimes years later. Anyway, 1776, British forces occupied New York City during the American Revolution. Also, in 1887, on this day, the city of Philadelphia launched a 3-day celebration of the 100th anniversary of the Constitution of the United States that right now it's kind of tethered. In 1935, the Nuremberg laws deprived German Jews of their citizenship. In 1940, during the Second World War, Battle of Britain, the tide turned as the Royal Air Force inflicted heavy losses upon the Luftwaffe. Okay, that was the German Air Force. Okay. And I'll have to finish the rest of this when we come back because I talked too long about something else. So we'll get back to it. I promise you. We'll get back to it. So, well, let's get at least 2 of us up. We'll be back.
1440 WLWI AM, the home of the Dan Bongino Show. Also on 1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, Alabama. Cumulus Media Station. This is the CBS World News Roundup, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. 3 car manufacturing plants are idle in 3 different states. Union workers went on strike at midnight, including this man at a Ford facility in Wayne, Michigan.
I say it's for the future. We can start here. Once we start here, whatever future comes, and we help our generation to come. So that's what I think. We start here. Hopefully, we don't have to do it again.
Employees want 40% pay raises with a 3 offer. Correspondent Chris Van Cleve is in Detroit.
Suppliers like Global Technology, which makes wheels for several carmakers, could see a huge portion of its business going to a halt. The strike that lasts more than a few weeks could force CEO Dale Hale to lay off some of his 2,000 U.S. employees.
It's bad for my business, it's bad for the economy, it's bad for my workers.
Business analyst Joe Schlesinger. Although the economic impact of the UAW strike really hinges on how long the strike persists, how many of the workers are involved, and the cascading effect into other industries. The White House says President Biden will speak today about contract negotiations between the 2 sides. Auto workers may not be the only ones. Nearly 64,000 Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers in California, Oregon, and Washington State have authorized a strike if they don't have any contract by the end of the month. Nurses, support staff, and others demanding better pay and more staffing. Eastern New Englanders are bracing for an onslaught from Hurricane Lee. A weakened Category 1 storm is expected to bring a nasty mix of heavy rain, strong winds, and high seas to the coast. Meteorologist Stephanie Abrams at the Weather Channel.
Today is the last day to prepare. Conditions go downhill tonight, and tomorrow Lee will be battering parts of New England.
Is expected to make landfall in Maine or eastern Canada. It's been almost a week since a cyber attack crippled operations at MGM hotels and casinos in Las Vegas, and the company is still working on a fix. Guests haven't been able to use their digital room keys, pay for food with credit or debit cards, or collect their winnings at the slots. CBS's Elise Preston.
Should customers worry about their data security? I don't even think of my card right now. I'm scared that they're going to have all of our information. The company says Caesars Entertainment, another Vegas casino giant, announced it had also been the victim of a cyber attack.
The Wall Street Journal says Caesars was forced to pay about $15 million in ransom to restore its system, and still no fix. At least 26 people injured when a large tent collapsed in a parking lot near Chicago. Bedford Park police say 5 were seriously hurt when it crashed around them at an appreciation event. This is CBS News.
Their end-to-end hiring system helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/Kevin.
2 times the healthy blood pressure support? That's never to worry about. Thanks to CBD's heart chews, you need 2x ingredient. Normal blood pressure will be 2 times more effective than diet and exercise alone. CBD is America's #1 selling food. And we know the #1 cardiologist, doctor, and pharmacist recommend food plans for heart support. A clinical study showed that the key ingredient in CBD's heart chews is nearly 2 times more effective in supporting normal blood pressure for a healthy lifestyle for life. And their particle plan with over 60,000 5-star patients. So double your protection. A special offer exclusive to radio listeners. Your free 30 days supply of CBD's heart chews, 10-15% off your first order at getcbds.com with code radio. And the free 30-day supply and 15% off for radio listeners only at getsuperbeets.com, code radio.
Another talk show is set to return amid the Hollywood strike.
And Bill Maher's doing real-time with Bill Maher back to HBO without writers. The comedian wrote lengthy posts on social media saying he sympathizes with striking writers, but his staff is struggling and it's time to get back to work. In solidarity, Maher said he won't be doing more like just new news or editorial pieces. A few episodes next September 22nd. Maher will be the first late-night host to return to air, and the Writers Guild has already promised to pick up the show. Following the decision, disappointing. What the risk? CBS News.
The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers says talks could resume with striking screenwriters next week. The last contract negotiations were held 3 weeks ago. The studio sweetened their offer for a new 3-year contract, then went public with the proposal. Union leaders didn't like that. The record strike is now in its 5th month. Kevin Rodriguez, CBS News.
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to lifelock.com. Hey, Montgomery!
Show weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
All right. Okay. Just so anybody knows, I did some communicating with Dan Marsh the other night. He should be doing okay. I asked him if he'd ever think he'd come back to radio, and he doesn't know. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, it's just him and I both around radio in certain different capacities, but we all work for him. He was my commander in chief, and he's part of the administration. Anyway, good morning to you. How's everybody doing? Hope this day finds you well. Also, good morning to anybody else that I forgot to say good morning to. Someone. Good morning, Mr. Cunningham. How you doing, sir? 90-something years old. Good morning, Miss Daisy. 90-something. That's my almost centenarian crew there. You know, not too many folks around here in the 90s and almost 100. And what do we learn from all those years? More than I have. Well, good morning to everybody. Hope everybody's feeling all right. Now, again, I have to finish my thing here because I kind of went over the last time. Again, on September 15, 1963, 4 black children, little girls, were killed with a bomb went off during Sunday services at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham. The people who were responsible for 3 Ku Klux Klansmen were eventually convicted for their roles in the blast. It was 1935, the Nuremberg laws deprived German Jews of their citizenship. In 1940, during World War II, the Battle of Britain, the tide turned as the Royal Air Force inflicted heavy losses upon the Luftwaffe. In 1950, during the Korean conflict, the United Nations forces landed at Incheon in the south and began their drive towards Seoul. 1959, Nikita Khrushchev began his first Soviet state visit to the United States, and he arrived at Andrews Air Force Base outside of Washington. Nikita Khrushchev also, during his visit, said that America was a youth for idiots. Listen, he was just a couple decades early. Because sometimes we do like a bunch of idiots now. Boys think they can be girls. I believe it. And we letting boys join the women's sport. Woo! Youthful idiots. That's what he called it. 1961, the United States began Operation Nougat, a series of underground nuclear explosions in the Nevada test site. 2 weeks after the Soviet Union began testing its nuclear weapons. The year was 1972. The federal grand jury in Washington, D.C. indicted 7 men in connection with the Watergate break-in. Okay, and in 1985, Nike began selling its Air Jordan 1 sneaker. 2001, President George W. Bush ordered U.S. troops to get ready for war and braced Americans for a long, difficult assault against terrorists to avenge the September 11th attack. The beleaguered Afghans streamed out of Kabul, fearing a U.S. military strike against Taliban rulers harboring Osama bin Laden. In 2008, on this day, Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 504.48 or 4.42%. Okay, that was not good, but it worked out. Okay. 14 years ago, the Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke said that the worst recession since the 1930s was very likely over, except in my checking account. Although he cautioned that the pain, especially for nearly 15 million unemployed Americans, would persist. Okay, and as an unpleasant, would persist as unrepentant. Whatever this guy's name is, moved somebody. The Iraq reporter who had thrown his shoe at President George Bush in December 2008 was freed from prison. 19 years ago, U.S. Secretary of State 9 years ago, U.S. Secretary John Kerry in Paris for an international meeting of diplomats said that he wouldn't shut the door on the possibility of working with Iran against common enemy, the Islamic State militant group. And those are just some of the things that happened on this day. Okay. Now, let me see. One more thing. 2 Vietnam War soldiers received the Medal of Honor from President Barack Obama in a White House ceremony, nearly 50 years after they had thrown themselves in harm's way to protect their brothers in combat. Army Command Sergeant Major Bernie D. Atkins, I believe survived this injury, where Army Specialist Donald B. Sloat did not. Okay, so always some courageous guys. Let me see what this is before I go to my what we celebrate today. Good morning, who's this? Yes. I'm doing fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Not over there. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I guess he's a short brother. Yeah, I guess he is. Yeah. Well, Napoleon was kind of short. Napoleon was kind of short too. So I mean, mm, mhm. I think they said the Apple 12. I think that one is the one they're talking about. The iPhone. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Mm. Well, I guess you got a Napoleonic. Yeah. Okay. That's why I'm so dogmatic. I'm kind of short too. Anyway, the things we are celebrating today, before we get into anything very serious, with 17 and morning, butterscotch cinnamon pie. That I don't know what the hell that is. I've never seen it. I don't know what it is, but I love butterscotch. And butterscotch and cinnamon. You know, that sounds like I might have an interesting day. Anybody ever made one of those? Like, I haven't. It is. Costa Rica Independence Day. Hey, it's good for that because Todd's got a house down there, and a few other folks I know. I'm glad that you got independence down there. Where is Todd anyway? I can talk to him a good friend. El Salvador Independence Day. I don't know who the independent from, but okay. Uh, Felt Hat Day. Felt Hat is celebrated to honor the long distance hat. Greenpeace Day. I don't know what they did for, but let's say. Guatemala Independence Day. All these places. Oh, we got countries outside of Montgomery and the country. I don't know. Maybe that's what so messed up. Honduras International Day of Democracy. Uh, you know, and I got into this conversation about the word democracy um, and represented the government. And you realize that I pledge allegiance to the flag of America. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands. Okay. So are we a republic or are we a democracy? Okay. When we pledge allegiance to the flag, it says to the republic for which it stands. So I still they don't say to the democracy for which it stands. It says to the republic for which it stands. International Dot Day. I don't know if that's it. How about Make a Hat Day? We celebrate Make a Hat Day by making hats and suits. Let's see, just for that. Martyrdom of Imam Riza. Okay? Monetary respect to the revered Shia Imam of the day of martyrdom of Imam Riza. Okay? National African Civility Day. Need some of that over here. National Cheese Toast Day. That cheese toast is pretty good. I like it. It's good. You know, you just put a little butter on the bread and put a little bit and before you put it in the skirt, you'll be all right. National Concussion Awareness Day. Well, if you get one, you know you got it. So you'll be aware of it. National Creme de la Menthe Day. I don't know what that is. I think it's something to eat. National Custom Framing Day. I guess we got pictures want to put in here. National Dare Day. That's right. Let's not ever forget to mention to our kids, leave drugs alone. Okay? Leave them alone. If you want to see what they do to people, go to Chicago, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, even some places in Montgomery, and you can see what drugs do to people. National Double Cheeseburger Day. And listen, I'm going to have to sue McDonald's. Okay, no, because what they have done, and Burger King got sold to somebody once, they made the hamburger smaller, the fish is smaller, and they charging us more money. See, if I gotta pay more money, at least give me what I was paying for. I mean, and plus, National Google.com Day. National Linguini. I don't know what linguini is, but I've heard of it. National Malcolm Day. If your name is Malcolm, I don't know what Malcolm actually Malcolm Calhoun. And today is your day. So let's find out more about what the word Malcolm means. National Online Learning Day. If things don't get much better, that's when everybody's going to learn. In fact, you can have one teacher per house. The internet has revolutionized the learning process and offers flexible learning environments to students. So you don't really, you don't really need to go to the schoolhouse anymore. You can just do it at home. National POW Day, Prisoner of War and Missing in Action Recognition Day for all the ones who never came home. Never ever forget. National Reuben Day. Now I think that is I think that's like a Reuben sandwich. I don't really know what a Reuben sandwich is. I've heard of it though. Good morning, who's this? Yeah. No, it's not. It's not SOS. It's, wait. Are you? Wait, I thought it. Yeah, but that's SOS, not creme de la menthe. No. Cream de menthe, I believe, is a piece of candy. It's a candy. No, man, you're wrong on this one. You're wrong on this one. Yeah, yeah. And what is it? That's not the same thing. That's not. No, that's not cream de menthe. That's cream beef. That's cream beef. That's not creme de la menthe. It's creme de la menthe, a piece of candy. That's right. Yeah, good. All right, good. That's right. Cream de menthe is not that. SOS was cream beef, which is what we put on the old sandwiches back in the day. And I got to tell you something. If you hungry enough, that SOS is some of the best stuff you can ever make. National Tackle Kids Cancer Day today because I tell you, I can't think of many things. It was a breakdown it breaks down the time of your child has cancer. So we need to do whatever we can do to help these folks. And I love the St. Jude Hospital. Those guys do great work with kids. And sometimes the work goes in vain. They're always trying. So if you ever send a little extra money to Jude, do that. They do wonderful work with kids. National Tradesmen's Day. Okay. And Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is literally translated into head of the year. It's the Jewish New Year. Okay. So it's Rosh Hashanah today. Shout of Dolores. Viva Mexico. Those are the words powerful enough to save a nation. Okay. World Afro Day. Okay, my Afro days is over. It's gone. We just done. So, but I used to wear Afro. Okay. I just not. I saw a white guy the other day with Afro. Right on. I mean, that's. Well, I think we call that. I think we call that some sort of appropriation. When a white guy wears an afro or wears his hair braided, we call that. What's that word we use? That'd be like me wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots. I would be appropriating the culture of somebody else. Okay, even though I do look good in cowboy boots, I just can't walk them. I'm just saying you might want to think of what do they call that when you steal the customs of another culture? I forgot what they call it, but anyway, okay, white guys, we love you, just like brother, we ain't. But listen, we the Afro from below. That blown up. Okay. Let us have something. That's all. The Afro blown up. Okay. And last but not least, we have World Engineers Day. That belongs to everybody. If you got the brain to do it, that belongs to everybody. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay. So engineers. Oh, all right. Now moving right along. Here's some things. Here's some things that you probably do not know. Then we're gonna get up to some serious things. Of course, there are only 4 words in the American language that end with D-O-U-S. Somebody got it, sent me a text, they got it. What are those 4 words? Horrendous, which means awful. Tremendous, which means I'm in a celebratory mood. Hazardous means you better stay the hell away from that. And stupendous means well, no, I think stupendous means I'm elated. Okay, I think that's what that means. Now, did you guys know that the Eiffel Tower actually gets taller in the summer? No? Did you realize that? I know you don't really care, but I'm telling you that it does. Okay? If you don't believe it, look it up. Human teeth are the only part of the body that cannot heal itself. Teeth are not made of live tissue and are coated with enamel, which can't spontaneously regenerate. That's why when we lose all our teeth, we gotta get some more. We gotta buy some. Okay. So anyway, it's the only part of the body that can't heal itself. Maybe on the next model the good Lord will make it where they kind of like cut themselves. Remember Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street? Really? You know those names? You know where those names came from? This was good. Okay. Here's one that I know you didn't know. Switzerland prohibits the ownership of one guinea pig. They don't prohibit the ownership of 2, but they will not allow you to just own one. Because since guinea pigs are such a social creature, one guinea pig would get lonely. Just having one is considered animal abuse. I can do that with dogs too, I guess. Here's one that's interesting. All you guys know who like eating seafood. A shrimp's heart lives in its head. Yeah, we get it. Right at the top. But I can't really tell what a shrimp's head is anyway. If that wasn't interesting enough, due to the nature of their open circulatory system, shrimp have no arteries. So their organs just float around in the blood. Okay, then. And one more thing, one or 2 more things. We are more creative. Now, the next time you hear somebody singing in the shower, okay, you're gonna find out that we are more creative. One of our best places that we become creative is in the shower. Okay, I know it's a weird fact, but it's a neat one. If you ever felt like you think better in a warm shower, you're probably right. The warm water increases the flow of dopamine and makes us more creative. So if you can't think of something, get in the shower and you can probably come up with a solution to the problem. Okay, I'm just saying you might want to do that. And guys know what a sloth is. It's one of those animals that looks like a monkey that's been bred with something else. I don't know, but they can hold their breath longer than dolphins. Dolphins need to come up every 10 minutes to get air. But by slowing their heart rate, sloths can actually hold their breath for 40 minutes. Okay, I'm just telling you. And here's one that you didn't know. I know because when I found this one out there tonight, it kind of broke my heart. Okay? Fruit Loops are all the same flavor, despite their different colors. No, that's kind of disappointing because I no wonder now I figured out. So when me and Z eat Fruit Loops, I'm looking for the red one because I figured that's strawberry, right? But it's not. They're all the same flavor. So they tricked the brother. Won't be the first time that ever happened. But they tricked him. All right, guys, take a break, and we'll be back with more interesting things right after this. Our numbers are 860-1440, the number. We'll be back. enjoyed a wonderful dinner last week with friends we hadn't seen in a long time. The next day, we received a handwritten note which they delivered to our mailbox, letting us know how much they had enjoyed our dinner together. What was an article that we didn't discuss? We went to those concepts, those events, which is likely to get a thought of who written with once in a while. Check us out at The Kindness Revolution. It really is. Okay, and we're back here. A couple more things before I go into something serious. Did you know? Did you know? Every Friday, what I do is I'm going to tell you something that you probably don't know. New addition to the show. Did you know that apples that you buy in some stores could be 6 months to 12 months old? Did you know that? Apples in supermarkets can be over a year, at least a year old. And here's why. Because farmers often pick apples in the fall, cover them with wax, hot air dry them, and put them in cold storage. This keeps them edible and ready to sell for up 6 to 12 months. I didn't know that. I did not know that at all. But I guess the wax keeps them, I don't know, inebriated, very drunk. I didn't realize that. So the apple, if you crunch it on, they've been sick, but it doesn't make any difference how old it is. As long as it's still good, hey, who cares? That's because I was born in the city and not the country. So I didn't know all that good stuff, okay? I mean, this is the only place I've ever been where people eat tomatoes on bread. Yeah, hey. Listen, I guess if you don't have any meat, then eating a tomato salad, you can think there's meat on it, but there isn't. There's just a tomato and salad dressing or mayonnaise, whatever you use. Up north, we eat salad dressing. Down south, they'll put mayonnaise on everything. But anyway, hey, listen, till I got here, you never saw it. I mean, if I went home to Indiana and I walked in the house eating a tomato on bread, somebody would think I was crazy or I lost all the meat I ever had. I'm just saying, y'all might want to ship that over to Africa somewhere because listen, you can think you got some meat on there and have it just a tomato, but psychologically it could be like a chicken sandwich. I don't know. Somewhere for the apple thing. Venus is the only planet that spins clockwise. You guys didn't know that, Every 225 Earth days, Venus travels around the sun. But Venus rotates clockwise once every 243 days. And here's something that I almost hate to tell you this because now we're going to start a new craze. Well, I'll tell you about that in a second. Let me grab the phone call. 860-1440 is the number. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Well, according to them, they say they can be up to a year old. But they put them in hot water, and I just got a verification of this. They said they do that with potatoes and things too. So I didn't realize that you could have it that long. I guess if you put some hot juice on it, and I guess I will. Oh, okay. Because at least. Mhm. Oh, so the expiration date was to keep the economy moving. Mm. Uh, No, because until then I didn't have YouTube TV. Now I bit the bullet. We got YouTube TV now, so now I don't have to have cable in the house, and I can still watch everything. $72 a month though. $72 a month. That's a heavy load. But here's the deal. Okay, here's how you do this. You can have 3 accounts on YouTube TV. Get all the channels, local channels, and everything. So what you do is you and 3 people get together, and y'all decide to split the $72 3 ways, and it's cheap. That's true. Yeah, that's right. Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. I heard about that. That's low class. That was low class. Yeah, that's low. That wasn't classy at all. Yeah, that's yeah, yeah. What's that? Mm-hmm. Mm, yeah, you're right. I got some news about that too. Yeah, mm, yeah, okay. Yep, really will, surely will. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, one more thing. Nutmeg. Now, normally bringing up nutmeg won't be a big deal. I got something to tell you about this. I'm going to take this last call from my last break. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Morning. Okay. Which is it? Oh, well, I knew about the I knew about the buffalo soldier. I knew about well, that was, oh, really? Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. Well, right on. I'll go get me a cowboy hat then. All right. All right. I appreciate it. Okay, well, my coach is first cowboys. I'm good. All right then. Yeah, let's take a break and we'll be back. Uno momento. Hang on there so you learn something new every day. I know the Buffalo Soldiers, but I guess those are cowboys. Yeah. Well, no, there we go. Hey, I'm from up north. Hell, I didn't even know anything about Morehouse till I came down here in 91. We keep a lot of things from us up there. Here we go. And we are back. The one thing before we get out of this hour, I was going to tell you about nutmeg. So I decided to do light stuff on Fridays, things that you didn't know and stuff of that nature. So I heard Hatcher on television yesterday. I didn't get a chance to hear it because I was in a situation where I couldn't turn the TV up. I was having a power meeting. Yeah, I'm part of the mover and shaker crowd in Montgomery. I was having a power meeting, but I looked over the television and had it on mute. And I don't know what he was talking about, but I forgot what he looked like. I don't know how they went through all those things that don't come up here and talk to us about. Because he is my senator, and I don't know why they, black representatives just don't come out. They just don't, unless you happen to go to a black station and accidentally hear them one day. They don't come up here with a movers and shakers. Listen to. I don't know. Because they always got excuses why they fail. I'm serious. They always got excuses why they fail. And they're probably talking about this new quote unquote black congressional district, which really won't be black. It'll have black folks in it voting for Democrats, is what it will have. It won't have black Democrats in it. It'll have black folks who vote Democrat. Okay. Now, I just want to know, can somebody show me anywhere in this country where there's a predominantly black anything politically and we're doing good? I just want to. So what? We put a district and we pack black folks in. Can somebody tell me one thing? We still trying to get the internet, okay, in the black belt, and it spent millions of dollars in 2009 to bring it, and it's not there yet. So couple months ago, they sent $1.4 billion to get the internet again. Who's getting the internet? I'm just saying. We got to park buses, okay? We had to park buses during the pandemic in certain neighborhoods in order to get the internet because the money that they sent down here to get the internet, we never got the internet down there. So somebody tell me what good, okay, is having a district that is populated by people who vote Democrat. I just want to know. Tell me one place in America where it has helped, it has changed the paradigm of black folks. It's just black folks. I just want to know. Where does it? Where does it happen? If we're not part of the whole, then we're not part of anything. Okay? I mean, do people really believe that blacks cannot represent whites philosophically, in ideology, and whites can't represent blacks? I think that's the most dumbest thing I've ever seen. Because at the end of the day, we all have something in common, and that is trying to survive. So I'm just saying, I would like to know, is there any place in America that is predominantly black, okay, not the rich folks in Atlanta, I ain't talking about them, because them the baseball players, and outside of the athletes, okay, who some of them are going to be broke soon anyway, because a lot of them don't have the sense enough to do anything with their money, except giving it to somebody else. So, 860-1440 is the number here. I don't even want to go with this one. You want who's this? Yes. I'm doing fine. And not me, he's going to get pardoned by the president anyway, so who cares? What they going to support him for? What are they going to support him? Not if you are a drug user, you are not I agree with you. I agree with you. Listen, I agree with you. Listen, I agree with you. I don't think because you have been convicted of a crime, you no longer have the right to protect yourself. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but I don't care about it, Joe. He's a I agree with you, but he's the son of the president of the United States. He will get a pardon, and it'll all be white clean. So what else you got? Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. He's gonna get a pardon, but he's gonna get a pardon, and when he get his pardon, he'll be able to have a gun. So it's a moot point. And all I can tell you then, don't get caught with it and don't get caught with it and be a known drug user. Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, but who cares? His father is the president of the United States. Okay. It doesn't make any difference. Father is president of the United States. He's gonna pardon. He's gonna pardon the guy. So he ain't gonna spend one day in jail. He ain't gonna spend one day. Okay. You got anything else? You got anything else? You got anything else like that? Well, that's all. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Mm-hmm. As a congressional district, as a district or something like that. Yeah, yeah. I ain't talking about the 1920s now. I ain't talking about them days. I'm talking about in recent history. True. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sports. Yeah. 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 Mhm. But has that tide lifted the preponderance of the collective? Show me where that's been happening. It hasn't. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Mm. I'm just saying, right. I said, well, I got to go to my time. Okay, you can finish this conversation on way out because I got to go. I'm just saying, I'm just asking the question: does really having a predominantly black congressional district it helps the folks get the jobs, but it doesn't help the rest of them.
This is CBS News on the hour.
Deborah Rodriguez. A historic strike on United Auto Workers kicked off at midnight against the Big Three at three different facilities in three different states. UAW President Sean Fain joined picketers outside Ford's assembly plant in Wayne, Michigan. GM CEO Mary Barra takes issue with that. She tells CBS Mornings,
we need to keep investing in new products. And right now, we're at a peak because we're investing not only in next generation production engine vehicles, but also in brand new EVs.
President Biden plans to speak about stalled negotiations between the two sides later today. A Category 1 Hurricane Lee is expected to slam into New England and Canada over the weekend. Heads up from Weather Channel meteorologist Stephen Abrams.
There are over 3 million people in watches and warnings. The winds will increase through the day today, and tomorrow gusting as high as 75 miles per hour in the Cape coastal Maine.
The official death toll from catastrophic flooding in eastern Libya is now more than 11,000. 10,000 still unaccounted for. CBS's Holly Williams is at the farm desk.
Some scientists say climate change may have been a contributing factor to the scale of this disaster. Because a warming Mediterranean Sea could have made the storm more
closing arguments are set to the GOP's impeachment overseas, one country is dealing with a problem we all Ireland's going to sit the most massive surplus in next month's annual budget. They cannot decide what to do with the $10 billion that most importantly from multinational companies. There are money from housing prices in the world, education, hospitals, and transport, oil and heating. The rest of us to pay our $24 billion borrowed in the bailout contract that crashed 15 years ago. Some experts warn the tax-free may not last. The Senate Futures Capital, Elaine Hall, CBS News. Regulators in Ireland have just fined TikTok $368 million for failing to protect children's privacy. An investigation found the sign-up process for teenagers made their accounts public on default. This is CBS News.
Listening to Investors, an unrivaled company that can help you save on term life insurance in the highly competitive life industry. Rates have significantly dropped in recent years. For instance, a 45-year-old non-smoker can now secure $1 million of coverage for just $75 per month with a low rate for 10 years. Similarly, a 50-year-old non-smoker can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110 with a guaranteed low rate for 20 years. Smokers can also benefit from our great rates. We specialize in policies at $500,000 and above. Whether you're in need of new or replacement term life insurance, call us today at 1-800-888-9757 for a personalized quote.
Just so you guys don't forget. Okay? Just so you don't forget. Okay? That's on this. Okay, I gotta put this back on the wall. You comparing chickens. Sure.
800 U.S. and Central Europe.
Yeah.
Oxygen deprived.
Yeah.
And 87.
I believe you.
Getting warmer.
I believe you.
That could mean problems for fish and other animals that live in the rivers. Rivers located in cities belong to the most emerging agricultural areas reported the most severe oxygen loss. CBS.
Where's the oxygen loss?
To go up today, we're learning about airline flight that went way down west where the flight from New York to Rome.
No. Hey, I'm a black man. I am a black man. You're a black man. You're both of them anyway.
Rodriguez, CBS News.
I'm a black man. All day long. I like being black. Black's good. You know, I played this song when Trump got elected. I'll probably play it again. Whoever gets elected, anybody but Biden. You know, it's time to rise and shine, people. Time to get up and things to get lower for another day on the ground. On the ground. Not time to get it. You want to all my senior citizens out there since I'm going to get out. You know, hey, does anybody keep hearing this thing about that? Senior citizens are supposed to get this free card to go buy $3,000 worth of groceries. I've been trying to find the card. I can't find it. Yeah. Somebody's got to come on one day and tell us all the things that old people can get that young folks can't. Okay? Besides getting screwed, out of your money. But we need a show on that one. What the old people show? What's out there that's free? Woo! 860-1440 is the number here with the show that comes to your mind. Let's go back phone. See who this is. Who's been waiting patiently. Good morning. Yes, sir. Mr. Marine. Mm-hmm. It is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It does. Because the, the- because the federal government is not above using black folks either. Okay, most of the folks in the most of the folks in the federal government, a lot of them are Democrats and liberals. They want to give us the illusion that brother, I'm 66 years old. I haven't seen it. Nothing has changed. Me too. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Show me a place. Show me a predominantly black. We are talking, and I'm telling you, mhm. Do you think, okay, because do you, it doesn't make any difference. Show me a place where it's made a difference. Because the Democrats are trying to get the black folks all in one place so they can vote. Yeah. Mhm. Here's my government. We don't vote. We don't vote. What's the purpose? We got the opportunity now. All you gotta do is go out and vote. Well, sometimes you need to being content. Sometimes you need to be. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Be more specific. What are you talking about? What did he do? What did he do? Uh-huh. Hmm. Okay. Well, right, but that Constitution didn't mention anything about slavery. But it sure had a bunch of them. Yeah, I said that. So what's that supposed to stop? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nah, I, mm. They screwed the guy. They screwed the guy. They did things. Wait. They did things in 2020 election that violated the Constitution, the principle of it, and the matter of fact of it. They did that. They violated their own state laws. Yeah, sometimes you got to take a stand by yourself. Sometimes you do. Listen, and that's fine, but I think you did Jeff right, and I think you did Jeff Sessions wrong. I do. Jeff Sessions. No, I said Jeff. I said right. I would Jeff. I think the president Trump did him wrong. I do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hey, one more thing. Did you get a double pack? Did you get a double pack? Sandwich? It's like, I'm just saying you need to wear something right now. Everybody, who's this? Yes. Okay, okay, all right. Hey, good. I'm done. I'm done. I don't have a clue what the hell you're talking about. Okay, appreciate it. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, good morning. Who's this? Yes. I guess it's regular. Okay, it's philosophical stuff. Yeah, don't say that. Yeah. Although I will say one thing, you know, well, our government is about checks and balances. It doesn't seem that we have a check and balance over the U.S. Supreme Court. Who do they answer to? And that's a problem. But if it's checks and balances, no. But if it's checks and balances, you know, they rule on the constitutionality of laws, and but nobody. And I'm with you. The whole black district thing is a political ploy so the Democrats can get more people, black folks, packed in the district. I got that, but I ain't talking about it. I'm talking about an overall, when the Supreme Court makes a bonehead decision, they don't answer to anybody. Where the hell does the Constitution say? It does get on, but the Democrats bring it up. Well, again, though, yeah. Well, I'm talking about black congressional. I'm talking about congressional districts that are predominantly black. Yeah. I can tell you, I'm not in the education. Well, I can't. Well, they've been led by Democrats too long. Yeah, yeah. Mm. What is that? Mm. Well, listen. Everybody has a right to their opinion, and that one's yours. It is 8:18 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Well, we're supposed to be the people. Right. But the Supreme Court makes law. Well, but the Supreme Court, in effect, makes law by their ruling. There's no. Well, there's nothing in the Constitution about men and men. Yes, they do by their ruling. They do make them. What they do, they make the law. Right. Same-sex marriage. There's nothing. There's nothing in the. There's nothing in the Constitution. Same-sex marriage. There's nothing in the Constitution that deals with that, who you marry. Okay? Nothing that undergirds that takes the undergirding of centuries of tradition of male and female. There's nothing in there. They ruled that in many cases that same-sex folks have the right to marry. But that's not in the Constitution. And they made the law. Right. They made the law by their rulings. They made the law. Okay. Congress didn't make it. That's right. Two people of the same sex can get married. The Supreme Court said, okay, that's constitutional. Not the Constitution. The Congress didn't pass it. That's right. Wait. Yes, they have. Why do you think we have same-sex marriages? That's what when Stephen Reed first became the probate judge, he went along with the ruling. The court has ruled. And so therefore, you can have same-sex marriage, men and men and women and women. And even though Congress, the House of Representatives has never made such a law. The Supreme Court, by proxy, made a law. And when the Congress doesn't check them, they make law. And they have. But they make law. Now, if I'm the Supreme Court, I'm saying then if it's legal, if you're going to make it legal, then the Congress needs to make a law. But until Congress makes that law, so Congress have advocated, so you're right, their responsibility by allowing the Supreme Court by proxy to make law. Not only the United States Supreme Court, but the Alabama Supreme Court. They all make law. Yes, he rewrote the law. The Constitution, exactly. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. And Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade. Where they pretty much say, okay, it's okay to have an abortion back in the day. Now the Supreme Court came back recently and said, that's a state issue, which I agree with them. So the Supreme Court makes law, and there's nothing we can do about it. Because you cannot take politics out of politics. Anyway, I appreciate it. Got to take a break. We'll be back at 8:23 in the morning right there. So this whole thing about getting a black congressional district is only going to help the people who get to go to Washington, D.C., who makes a lot of money, who make all the deals. But the black folks down in the Black Belt and all these places, they'll still be. Matter of fact, 10 years from now, we'll still be talking about getting internet down there. I'm sorry. But show me a congressional district that's predominantly black in America where that tide has lifted everybody. Well, the buddies got rich. I don't know one. We got Maxine Waters. All the districts where they have predominantly black representation. Can somebody just give me one in this country where those people have been lifted by the policies and influence of their representatives? Yeah, I'm waiting. I'll be right there when we come back. Somebody give me one. 860-1440. Why can't we just go out and vote? Right now, black folks have the power to put people in office and to get people out if they just came out and voted. You got to vote more than 30% or 20% of the people who are eligible to vote. We don't. And we whine and whine and whine, and things don't go over. And we're not the same people. White and black folk are not the same people. We have different needs, different faults. We have different philosophies. We eat differently. But there's something that we all have in common. And it is those things that are missing in this equation of representation. We'll be back.
To 97646. Another day with scattered showers and a few
The problem with Atlanta is basically downtown. They've had carved off all of these districts, all of these subdivisions, so the power in Atlanta is really not there.
Tomorrow will be a repeat of today. Scattered showers and a few storms, highs in the mid-80s. A few of us may go a little above that if you see more sunshine, then the humidity comes down and things dry out Sunday and the next week. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Sun Automotive, family owned, family driven, on News Radio 1440.
Well, Montgomery, right now things are looking good. Nothing's big.
I would agree with you about Atlanta, except Atlanta's downtown. There's so many suburbs, so many people have taken themselves outside the city limits of Atlanta and created their own communities. So where's the power?
Buckle up, it's the law for Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
The news you need, the news you can trust, the news you depend on. News Radio 1440. More at newsradio1440.com.
Did you know China starts teaching financial literacy in preschool? American kids are getting left behind, but we can't help at home thanks to the Sensibles, a team of animated superheroes who help kids develop smart money habits in a fun way. Each month, they get a kit in the mail with a DVD, a comic book, access to an interactive website, fun activities, and lots more. Visit bcs-kids.com today and enter promo code CENT for 20% off. Digital subscriptions also available. The Sensibles. It's the sensible thing to do.
I've been taking Nutrafol for about a year.
I've been taking Nutrafol for just over 4.5 years.
My hair was thinning.
Just gave birth. I was under a lot of stress.
Friday.
My hair feels thicker,
Stronger.
the breakage is less. Nutrafol has taken me back to the hair I was meant to have.
Join the 1 million people growing at Nutrafol.com. That's NUTRAFOL.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Blakes with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Food additives can harm children's development and raise the risk of obesity. To lower the risks, choose fresh fruits and vegetables when you can and avoid processed meats. Don't put plastic in the microwave because heat will have chemicals to leak into your food. When cooking or serving hot foods, use glass or ceramic dishes. For more on keeping your child healthy, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
The U.S. Supreme Court was established on the principles of fairness, dignity, and impartiality, but it's really a mess. I'm Leon Maycock, and I want to tell you about a new show I'm working on called 5 to 4. 9 justices that compose the Supreme Court are not the smartest people in the country. No. We are. Every week, Peter, Rhiannon, and Michael are going to take on a legally dubious Supreme Court decision. Listen and subscribe to 5 to 4, free wherever you get your podcasts, from the Westwood One Podcast Network. May the conversation starts.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life and in every corner of America, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. The Army National Guard reacts to domestic operations in each of America's 54 states and territories, including Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and the District of Columbia. Each state National Guard's unique domestic role is to act as the first line of defense in support of civil authorities in their state. The Guard's emergency responses include search search and rescue missions for floods, combating wildfires, hurricane or tornado recovery, and the presidential inauguration. The Army National Guard. We are always ready. We are always there. And in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association at this station.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure, my mother remained strong.
Because without strength, you lose hope. Together, we will rise above heart failure.
To help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
All righty then, we are back. 860-1440 is the number here. I don't know how I got in that one. I just get so tired of hearing about these about this congressional district. And at the end of the day, nothing is going to happen significantly that is going to rise the other votes. Oh, somebody's vote's gonna get risen. Absolutely. Somebody's gonna get a good job, $174,000 a year plus the money they get under the table. I mean, somebody's gonna make some money. But I would just like, and here's my problem. Every urban mecca in this country, most of our communities have the worst schools, the most crime. Okay, so tell me again. I just want to hear it. And Atlanta's not Atlanta. Atlanta's downtown for the most part. Hell, it's surrounded by suburbs of people who've gotten the hell out of Atlanta and created their own community. Stone Mountain. I mean, they got so many communities over there now. You don't know when you're in Atlanta when you're not. Okay, Birmingham the same way. Birmingham is surrounded by other community, Inslee, Bessemer, Hoover. I mean, so many places that's no longer part of the Birmingham government. So I just want to know, where in the hell is it that these so-called black districts have helped anybody that's black? So now the Supreme Court, the legislators are not beyond using people for their own political good. They're just not. They know that black folks going to vote 98%, which I think is crazy. They're going to vote 98% Democrat. So why not put them all in one place? That way you can work on the rest of the places, convince them intellectually that you are good for them. So, are we really saying, seriously, are we saying that black folks are so stupid until they cannot tell when they're being represented? If a white guy represented, and can white folks? I think white folks have represented black folks. Does it? And black folks, white folks, the same way. Are you telling me that a black man cannot represent white folks? If the ideology is the same, if they have a same belief, if they have a fervent belief in the philosophies and in the principles of our government, why can't they? Because this crap about having black representation hasn't worked too good for black folks. You know, but listen, I'll wait for somebody to show me where. Show me a congressional black district, because it damn sure ain't Maxine Waters district over there. Baltimore, Maryland, it hasn't worked. Show me where it's done us some good. Okay, now we have of course filled up the jails. Okay, I'm just saying. 860-1440. So we were wasting all this time talking about a predominantly black district, which at the end of the day, all it's going to do has predominantly poor black folks in it. That's all I'm saying. That's why they take ink pens and they go up the street, down the street, in somebody else's backyard, out somebody's backyard, in somebody's backyard, out somebody's backyard, way across town, yank them, turn around, come. That's why they do that. So they get them voters. It's got nothing to do with the upward mobility of black folks in America. It just doesn't have anything to do with it. Sorry. Been here a long time, seen it work, seen the all of these arguments about districts, and we're still in the same shape. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. 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 And why do we accept it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why not put everybody in the bag? And I actually say, and I think they can be. Well, maybe. Mm-hmm. Right. It, right. And he did say that. It did. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay, okay, let me ask you, right, and I agree with you, but let me ask you a question. Is this color a culture? Is it color or culture? If 98% of black folks, wait a minute, if no, I'm not sorry, no, but if 98% of a group of people vote one way, they'll never, I'm, okay. Well, if you don't vote, you don't count. But they got the opportunity, though. All you gotta do is come out and vote. You ain't got that big a problem. Mm-hmm. Right. So you really don't believe? I mean, I'm just asking your mind. You don't believe that blacks could get or whites could get adequate representation, regardless of color? Right, right, right. But if you don't vote, if right, but if you don't vote, it doesn't make any difference what district you're. Right. Okay. So your issue then is the numbers. So, but isn't this about? Okay, now let me ask a question because I, but I'm confused. So all black folks think alike? All black folks think alike? But that's why you vote. Exactly. Exactly. So if we stack and pack black folks in the district for just to get for the sake of getting another black condemned. If right. So what? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What binds us as Americans in this? There's got to be something that binds us as Americans in this nation. What is it? Mhm. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Well, listen. Again, though, let me ask you. Then I got to go to a break. If all people that are eligible to vote right now in the state of Alabama, let's say a statewide election, if all the black folks that were eligible to vote, if they all voted for a particular candidate, wouldn't that candidate win? If and but if what percentage of whites vote? Right, right. Tell me, what is the percentage? What is the percentage of whites that vote in the state of Alabama? Right. Okay. Which would be how many people? Less than 2 million. Exactly. So how many black folks in America in Alabama? Okay. So if all the black folks got together, they could put anybody in office they wanted to. Well, I'm thinking. Well, again, that was wait a minute. That was a hypothetical question. I'm thinking when I ask you the question, I'm assuming that all those 2 million people are voters, but I know they're not. But also, right, right, right. And they all voted. They put anybody in office they wanted to. If whites only vote 30%, but the vote would be split amongst multiple candidates. Exactly. If white folks want to put, yeah, yeah, I just, okay. Yeah. Oh, let me get back to the thing. I gotta go. There you go. You still there? Hello. Yeah. Hey, hold on a second. I got to go back there. Uh, listen, I got to take a break here. So who's this? Huh? Okay. Well, hold on. We got to go. Who's that? Now, let me look at these numbers right quick. That's it. Let me look at these numbers right quick. I'm telling you, if we get together and let it put somebody in office, we can do it. White folks can do it. I'm just telling you. Yes, that's it. That's it. What is hold on. So in 2020, it was 1.3 million people. That's it. Let me get the right. What the heck? Okay. 1.301 million. Five million. Million population. So population of black folks is 1 million. 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 1 million. What? Oh well, I'll have to figure this out. I'll have to figure this out later on. Okay, here we are. We're back. It's 8:51 in the morning. I need to have some more conversation with you. But I know I'm not a mathematical genius. But if you take, okay, let's see, if you take 100 people, okay, without taking, give me one air. Well, now that is true. All right, well, he's pretty knowledgeable, but that's right. Well, then, if the Hispanic community also, then I agree with you. Should we have an Hispanic? Do we need Hispanic to represent Hispanics? I don't know. I don't believe so. Good morning. Yeah, just quickly. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got you. But I'm talking about voting. I'm talking about voting this morning. Yeah. All right. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah, we don't. And he did make a good point. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. It gives them power. That's right. And listen, I got to take them. We talked a while. I got to take them because I'm running out of time. But it is right. There are some Hispanic representatives in there. But again, who's benefiting? Good morning. Yeah. Good morning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you didn't see me over there? Okay. I was there. But see, I mean, I'm not a local representative or anything, but yeah, I can't, but I don't live far from there. Well, you may have, because there wasn't a few folks there that like me. But yeah, we could. Yeah. All right. Hey, appreciate it. Trying to get the last two calls in, trying to get my weekend on. Good morning. All right then. Good morning. Who's this? Hello. Good morning. Who's this? Hmm. All right then. Anyway, okay, I'm trying to get my math right here. Okay. Let's say, and he's smarter than I am when it comes to math, no doubt about it. I just want to do some super math. I just want to do some super math. And he'll get on the radio on the board. And how long it was. I'm going to see. Good morning. Okay. Now this is time to show who gets stupid. Okay, now, so let me go. Okay. We have a pool of 100 people. Okay, 100 people. That's what we got to work. That's the whole state of Alabama. There are 100 people in the state of Alabama. 40 of those people, okay, are black folks. Okay, 10 of those people are Hispanic. Okay, I'm trying to do. I probably won't have time to. I won't have time to. Okay, and let's say that. Okay, let's say. Okay. So let's just say. Okay, so that makes up to 100%. Okay, we got now that makes the white population of those people 50%. Okay, 50% of white folks in Alabama. Okay, 50 white folks in Alabama. Let's say we going to vote. We got an issue on the table. We going to vote. Okay, 30% of the 50% the whites come out. Okay, I don't have time to get to it. Anyway, you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. Okay, so whether we take that 50% of that 40, if 40% of all the black folks come out and vote, even though they're way under number, they could still push an agenda. Okay, I'll give you that. I know my buddy's not on my case about it, but it's numbers. It ain't numbers how many people there are, it's how many actual people who vote. Anyway, time's up. We'll catch you next week. Have a great day. Drinking time.
Telling it like it really is.
Kevin Elkins news about whether he pardoned himself if he wins next year's election. Against Spain's ex-soccer boss, the doctors at the foreign desk, and the Michigan judge at Spain's court has just issued a restraining order against Luis Rubiales, the former secretary for Safety World's Governor Jenny Hermoso. In his first court appearance to answer possible criminal charges, Rubiales once again insisted that the kiss he planted on Hermoso's lips was consensual, something she denies. Rubiales is now forbidden to approach within 500 yards of her. He is best known for his voluptuous depictions in paintings and massive sculptures. The one who was president says artist Fernando Botero has died at the age of 91. And the Washington Post suffered from pneumonia and Parkinson's disease. This is CBS News.
When you think of hair, think of the food. Good. It helps you attract what you and hair benefits. Call Visit feed.com/Kevin. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Here, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience. You can even invite them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might be earning a lot of pay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack. You don't have to find employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter. Get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And NFL stars given an update on his torn Achilles.
They posed with a photo on Instagram, and New Jets quarterback is smiling with a mask pulled down and full hospital attire after since the surgery on his left Achilles tendon went late. He was injured at the first trip, and he was getting used to the next after the season. Rockies tried to rise again in an earlier message, but it's not clear for next year and will be 40. Rockies said thanks to the doctor, he had the road to the cup. CBS News.
The Princess Anne swimmer died with black sheep and a single black line in the middle. Offer of $190,000 to $1.1 billion. And the headline, that's better in 1981, and then Prince Charles, photo actress, Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Tell me